Is there another twist on the cards as far as the next move by 5 rebel Congress MLAs is concerned? Well, in an interesting development, TMC legislature party leader Mukul Sangma has invited the 5 MLAs for dinner. While Mukul Sangma has termed the move as an informal meet between former party members, is there something more to this? Well, after the dinner invitation comes at a time when the 5 Congress MLAs have openly rebelled against the AICC and MPCC by extending their support to the MDA government in the state. Let's listen into what Mukul Sangma had to say on the dinner invitation.
They're my colleagues. We have been colleagues for a long, long time, not just during this session, during this term. Even prior to that, we have worked together, we have served together. And when we look at issues and take up issues collectively with the sole intention of addressing the concern of the people for the larger good of the people and the state, we must always discuss, deliberate among ourselves and see and explore the possibilities of aggregating our potentialities. That's the healthy practice. That's what we are looking at as colleagues. And we were together in CLP, and because of the political developments that has unfolded, we are separated. But then that doesn't prevent us from getting together, having a get together and looking at issues before us.
And this is what CLP leader Amprin Lindor said about the development. Take a look.
So we continuously get invited to dinners and breakfasts and lunches. So we're enjoying this freedom and trying to figure out what to do next.
Meanwhile, breaking her silence on the suspension and show cause notice, this is what a CLP leader Amprin Lindor had to say.
Except that of the MDA and its lead partner, which is the NPP. They may have their own perception of this ideology that they so call, because it is actually not in the purview of the group of 5 to decide on the extent of this so-called command. So we are not going to react to that, because at the end of the day, we look at the coalition partner, lead partner, which is the NPP, and we thought that it would be in the fitness of things to be part of government in this last leg prior to 2023. So other parties can say what they want. We are not even in authority to respond to that question. And right now, this freedom that we feel is something which is a very new version of our service through the party to the people. So we will enjoy this freedom of 12 days, and then we will sit down to discussing an action and a path forward. And we have informed you earlier also, we stick by each other and protect each other's back.
And well, Amprin Lindor also cited lack of clarity in the explanation letters issued.
Pretty much there seems to be a little confusion in that, the bulk of the letter, because it was only mentioned that there was an anti-party omission by the 5, and it never dwelt at length specifying what was the quantification of this so-called disqualification or suspension. Sorry, not disqualification, suspension.
All right, so a lot of political development coming in from the state of Meghalaya. I'll be joined from the floor, our news editor Nabrun Goswami, to give us the latest and his perspective on the political development brewing up in Meghalaya. Well, Nabrun, what do you think? Is there another twist on the cards as far as for the next move by the 5 MLAs is concerned?
Yes, Pooja, very, very interesting development. There's been a lot of fresh twists and turns in Meghalaya politics. Today is once again, another such day. Very surprisingly to many, Mukul Sangma, the TMC legislature party leader, extending dinner invitation to the 5 Congress, if you can say rebel Congress MLAs, because they have clearly gone against the wishes of the AICC and the MPCC. And Mukul Sangma inviting them for dinner. Mukul Sangma saying, we are former colleagues, we have discussed a lot of issues, party issues together, and we continue to do so despite everything. Well, things were not the same probably a month or so ago when Mukul Sangma decided to join the TMC along with 11 legislators, and five remained in the Congress. But in the last 2 to 3 days, a lot has changed. In an unprecedented move, these 5 Congress MLAs extended support to the MDA coalition government in Meghalaya, of which the BJP is also a part. The NPP is the main constituent, and also is the leading party in the alliance, and also a constituent of the NEDA. Due to which the AICC and the MPCC have taken strong exception to the entire thing and have served show cause notices. Have apparently given not to suspension orders for all the 5 MLAs, and at this juncture, they have been invited for dinner by Mukul Sangma. We just, I'm sure political observers cannot pretend that this is just another dinner invitation. We are being joined at this point in time by Roger Sangma, our Shillong correspondent. Roger, what can we make out of this? Is something else brewing? Is there another twist and turn in the corner? Is there something big behind this, or is it just another meeting between former colleagues and see if something can be worked out? What could motivate a time when the 5 MLAs are still extending their support to the MDA, and here we have Mukul Sangma TMC extending a dinner invitation, Roger?
Right, Navur, as you rightly mentioned, the political scenario right now in the state of Meghalaya is, it has more twists and turns than, any thriller, any novel out there, especially from Alfred Hitchcock. But as you rightly mentioned, the dinner, interesting development hereby, as opposition leader of the opposition, Dr. Mukul Sangma, has invited these 5 disgruntled legislators of the Congress now, for a dinner. Many are seeing this as not just any other dinner, because we spoke to both the CLP leader, Ampen Lindo, as well as the leader of the opposition, Dr. Mukul Sangma, who did not want to divulge, the details as to what will go on in this dinner. But, many political observers are saying that this is not just any dinner. Many things might go on during this dinner, especially Mukul Sangma, as expected, would want to, invite these leaders to TMC. But when we asked Dr. Mukul Sangma as to why they didn't join the TMC in the first place, he cited the reason that, it was a conscious decision that they had left when they had left the Congress to merge with the TMC. And then, these 5 legislators on their own free will, and, they themselves took a conscious decision to stay back with the Congress. So this was the reason given by Dr. Mukul Sangma.
But again, Roger, Mukul Sangma also made it very clear that it is not just about discussing normal things, discussing life over a dinner. But yes, he made it also very clear that we have discussed, as colleagues, we have discussed issues in the past, and in fact, this is a crucial meeting, he indicated indirectly. Also, if you've heard Ampen Lindo, they are saying we are receiving a lot of dinner and breakfast invitations. So we'll attend all of those and decide the future course of action. So this is not just another dinner, but yes, some crucial discussions definitely may take place. What could that be, Roger?
Right, Navur, like Dr. Mukul Sangma has always maintained that there are many things that he likes to keep close to his heart. And, the details have not been provided to the press. But many political observers are still maintaining that, this won't be just a normal dinner, even though Dr. Mukul Sangma has maintained that, these were his former partners, and they will be deliberating on many important issues, concerning the state and the people of the state. So, but however, these political dinners have more, people are reading more into this situation, this recent development now that, but it remains to be seen as to what will take place during this dinner.
Joined over the phone by our editor chief Wasbir Hussain. Wasbir, a very interesting situation here in Meghalaya. Well, at a time when the 5 Congress MLAs, rebel Congress MLAs, have extended support to the MDA, NPP-led MDA government in the state, and we had the AICC, MPCC issuing show cause and also giving nod for the suspension. A very interesting development today. TMC leader Mukul Sangma has invited the 5 MLAs for a dinner, and they are saying that we are former colleagues and we have been discussing issues in the past, and so hence we meet. Can we believe that, Wasbir?
I don't believe that at all, if you ask me frankly, Nabarun. I got a sense, one could get a sense that something was brewing when yesterday, the Congress leader, Amparin Lingdo, refused to comment to certain questions put by journalists, not once, but 6 times. To 6 different questions, Amparin Lingdo said no comment, which was absolutely unlike her, because Amparin Lingdo is an extremely vocal and forthcoming political leader of the Congress party. And so when reporters asked questions yesterday, on the so-called notice issued by the Congress, he refused to comment. Now, what is going on? That is the big question. As you have very rightly said, one cannot expect at this juncture that, Mukul Sangma, who left the Congress along with 11 of his colleagues, at that time, these 5 legislators, including Amparin Lingdo, Sakmi and others, they refused to side with him. They refused to join the Trinamool Congress along with Mukul Sangma, stayed on with the ACP. Then all of a sudden, they defied the AICC and they extended support to the Meghalaya Democratic Alliance government headed by the NPP-led coalition. Now, this is absolutely shocking. Now, obviously, one cannot expect them to continue as Congress leaders at the same time lend support to the MDA, where the BJP is also a constituent partner. And now suddenly you find them willing to accept a dinner invitation by Trinamool Congress leader Mukul Sangma. So I would like to ask questions. I'm just playing devil's advocate, whether these 5 Congress MLAs would join the Trinamool Congress and become Trinamool, or whether the 12 Trinamool Congress MLAs would form, along with these 5, would form a new political party or align with a new combination. So anything is possible, because this is an extremely fluid situation in Meghalaya at this point in time, and I would not hazard a guess as to what can happen. But yes, Nabarun, I'll certainly tell you that big political developments are on the card. This is not the last word that we had heard, and it is not that we are ex-colleagues and therefore we had invited them for dinner in this chilly winter evening in Shillong.
Absolutely, Wasbir. Wasbir, just be online. We also have our correspondent Roger Sangma. Roger, there are also murmurs that the current 5 Congress MLAs are not happy again with the functioning of MPCC President Vincent Pala. And now we have this development of Mukul Sangma inviting them for a dinner. So is there something that we can read between the lines, Roger?
Absolutely. As you rightly mentioned, things are not okay between these 5 legislators and the MPCC President Vincent Pala. We have made to believe by a highly placed source in the Congress that things are not okay between them. And after these legislators were given a show cause notice as well as a suspension order, they have intimated the AICC that they are ready to withdraw support from the NPP-led MDA government if and only if Pala is removed from all the posts.
That is against sources. That is against sources, Roger. No official word on that, but yes, there are a lot of speculations doing round. So, Wasbir, on the day when the 5 Congress MLAs extended support to the MDA, and we approached Congress MLA P.T. Sakmi for his remark, and whether or not MPCC President Vincent Pala was informed or kept in the loop about the move, Sakmi's reply was that, well, Vincent Pala can know about it through social media. So clearly that remark indicates that all was not well at all probably between the 5 MLAs and Vincent Pala. And well, now more things developing here. So very, very interesting situation here.
Absolutely interesting situation, as you said, Nabarun. When we had this exclusive interview with Vincent Pala a couple of days ago on our channel, Vincent Pala said that he was absolutely aware that these 5 Congress MLAs were going to do something like that. They might move away or drift apart or drift away from the Congress party. He said that I asked him what could be the possible reason, whether you were caught unawares, whether the AICC was caught unawares. To that question, Vincent Pala has said that the components, the constituent parties of the Meghalaya Democratic Alliance, they are very, very prosperous and rich, indicating, he gave a clear indication that possibly money power played a role. That is the allegation, that is the insinuation that he made in that particular reply. So this is a very, very interesting scenario where on one hand, unconfirmed reports saying that if Pala is removed as the MPCC president, these 5 MLAs may jolly well stay back with the Congress, but there is no confirmation to that. And Amparin Lingdo, the forthcoming political leader, refused to comment on anything whatsoever, said no comment 6 times yesterday, as I have already said. And now the invitation from Mukul Sangma, the Trinamool Congress leader, and these 5 MLAs accepting the invitation, the dinner invite, going to that place where Mukul Sangma is hosting them for dinner. All these are leading to speculations, brisk speculations flying thick and fast at this point in time. Anything can happen. I would suspect this is not an ordinary dinner meeting. There could be new political alignments in Meghalaya. One never know. And whether Mukul Sangma will continue with the Trinamool Congress, that itself is a question we don't know. It is up to him to confirm and deny this kind of rumors floating around. And it is, of course, also up to Amparin Lingdo and her colleagues to confirm and deny whether they are with Mukul Sangma, they are trying to drift closer to the TMC, or whether they are going to form a new political force in the state, or align with some other existing political force in the state to twist or alter the political equations in the state ahead of the election.
Thank you so much, Wasbi, for all those updates. Thank you so much, Roger Sangma, for your inputs. Over to you, Pooja.
All right, thank you so much, Nabaruna, for sharing those perspectives. Indeed, a very interesting development coming in from the state of Meghalaya, as a TMC legislature party leader, Mukul Sangma, has invited these 5 CLP leaders for dinner. And while Mukul Sangma has termed the move as an informal meet between former party members, is there something more to this? So after the dinner invitation comes a time when the 5 Congress MLAs have openly rebelled against the AICC and MPCC by extending their support to the MDA government in the state.